Welcome back to Mine's Garage. Just going to do a quick short video and doing some of the repairs on the tailgate frame just to get this little series going because the customer wants it back. So anyway, I'll flip the phone around and yeah, I'll do a bit of a kind of an intro. Anyway, back soon. Okay, we'll try this again. Now this is an inner tailgate frame for a customer of mine up in Rocky. Now all down along the bottom here he's already cut out because it was already rusty. Now I normally say to everyone, if you're going to get me to do it, don't cut it out. But anyway, he's cut it out, so what I've got to do is I've got to try and piece it back together. But what I've noticed is over the years of all the use as a farm ute and all that sort of stuff, it's bowed in the middle and that sort of stuff. Now I'm pretty sure they're actually supposed to be straight because the only bow bit is actually supposed to be in the bottom of the frame and that for the tailgate skin. So anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go along and I'm going to clamp the blue rod bar across the top, and then I will get there and hopefully I'll put a little bit of heat on it, or hopefully it will straighten it back out and that. So I'm going to see how that goes. So I'm going to go along, I'm going to clamp it and we'll have a look at it, and yeah, I'll come back to it. Okay, this is the frame for a HR tailgate HD. Now I've had it for quite a few months now and my customer is wanting it back, so I am working on it for the next few days. Now this section here that I've got in my hand, as you can see, I've cut it out from the top there all the way along, and that because he'd cut it down himself and that before I even got to see the tailgate. So what I've done, well, what it is this section here. So this will be cut off around this area here. So down around here, as you can see, I'll be marking that section there out, and that, and then this section will come along down here, and then I'll trim this section here off so that I can reshape the corner and that. Now if you have a look at this area here, now it's rounded. Now this end here, it's not rounded. So what I've also got to do is I've got to take a section out here and that to remake this little area here up to go into this part here, because this is just a universal repair section that one of the other places actually make. I didn't make this one and that, but if you are interested I can get hold of them, and when I make up tooling for this section here and that, I'll buy a couple and I'll stick it in this part here. But anyway, so what we'll go on is for where it curves here and along here, I'm going to actually try it all the way along to get this curved edge in here and round this area here off. Now it's not going to be easy to do. I'm going to have to make up another tool with up on my steel rack up here. A bit of 6mm gauge steel rod. So I will look at making up a bit of a tool to do that lip edge and that on here. So then I will use some of the offcut here to do this little section in here, and then I'll reshape this to fit onto this corner here as well. So once I do all that, we'll fill up some of these holes, and that this side's pretty good. There's a few little pinholes there. The customer Graham, he's going to go along and he's going to do the rest of the dent repairs on it himself, and he's going to put the tailgate on too, with the skin on as well. So I'll probably go along and clean up some of these edges a bit more for him, because he's got, and then fill in along here, a few rust holes here as well, down here, and so on. So just to get you all back interested in watching, I'll end up doing a little bit more filming somehow on this one, and yeah, once I get into cut and everything and then so forth, I will start recording again. So back shortly. So yeah, I've gone along and I've just done a few tacks in a couple of spots. Now what I'm going to be doing, instead of the round rod, I just remembered I have a dolly that I bought just a little while ago that has this nice rounded profile on that I can actually go in and underneath there and get that curve area and that from down underneath, so it becomes a bit more curved along this edge here, and then I've got to work your way out on making this part here. But see, unfortunately, looking at all the measurements of everything, now this bit I need to make a bit go in here as well, and that, and see how the hole goes all the way up. So this will come down very far once I make this top section and all that. So I'll curve this all the way along till I get up to around here and that, because this isn't quite in the right spot. So this is the bit that I cut out on this side and that. So we'll move these clamps out the right for a minute, and that went there. So that was pretty close to being in the right area for this side. This side, not quite so much. So I'm going to have to work another way out on this. But we'll continue to do this bit. This here, you can use a little section to go into here, and this bit here, and then I'll fill these holes up, and then we'll cut this little section out of this part here to fill this in, fill that in, and that. So this is the start of it. I will continue to do this, and then I'll show it once it's curved where it needs to curve and all that sort of stuff all the way through. This will get trimmed off at the end here to make another end piece and cap like this, and yeah, so anyway, that's it so far. So yeah, I've gone along, made a patch up for here, and I've patched there. I've got another patch to make up for this little corner here shortly. Okay, now I've done a little patch in here and a little bit down along here. I've got this patch here to make, and I've gone along and I've started tacking along the rest of the area here. Now I've just pulled this bit back for now so I could get in, tack in here and shape that area there up and that. Now I've got over here, I've made this little bit, it's not the best but it should work, that shape in there and that, because that shape needs to go in to there like so, because there's that bit underneath, so it's going to have to go like there. Now looking at this has not been marked out. I measured the distance from here to here and that before I cut this section here to leave this part here on and that, but this area here has been cut out in the wrong area, so I've got to trim it a little bit so I can put this bit in to here and that sort of stuff, and then weld that in to that bit later. Now this bit I will be bending back over straight, because if you look over here, it rounds off here and that, so from here to here I will take that bit off to shape on my one over there and that for that area there. So that's the go so far. This is actually my first repair for somebody else. Now I have a dolly over here, which is handy. I'm glad I got this dolly because it's the same curve as that. So where it's angled here, I'm curving it around like that by putting this dolly up and behind the back and then hammering it flat against this part here and that. So that's the work so far, and yeah. Alright guys, I'll be back again after. So I'm back. Now as you can see, there's a bit of section missing out of here and there's a bit of missing out here. Now I've got to step this down a little and yeah, so I'm going to do that. I've just made this little section here up to go into there and that, and she should be pretty good. So I'm going to weld that in and then I'll come back to it later. So now I'm going to call it quits at the end of for this video, but I just thought I'd show you is I've done a little bit more cleaning up in here. I've got this bit here to make, bring that lip down a little bit more on that so I can step it like I have there on this one. So I've gone along, it's a bit hard to try and clean all the weld back on the back here, and that I've also gone in, filled in those bits of rust holes there and that, and one there as well. Cleaned up here, there's a little hole here and that. I'll flip it over and I'll show you the other side, and yeah, so bear with me. Sorry everyone. So this is the repair patch. Now I've got to nick this little area here out and that to place this bit in here, so then I can put another square hole into this part here, because as you can see it's not made like that, it's just folded. Finish going along the edge here and that, and ran it off like I have on this side. Going along, I've got to bring this little fold down, tap that in a little bit more, fill in that little hole there and that. So I've gone and done a little bit along here, a few more here from the back as well, just to try and clean it up a bit more. borrow the die grinder and I'll clean that area there up. And as you can see how it's stepped here on that side, I've got to do this, clean that up and bring that back up a bit further as well, and step this side too, so that's the same over here when I fix this bit of panel here up, because I've got to do that little lip there, so I'm going to cut that out there and then remake that little lip there to here, clean that up, redo that hole there that's just poked through and clean that up, and then that's okay there, and that, so for my first one it's doing pretty good, and we just got to shape this corner up to resemble this corner here, and then bring it up and then down on that side as well, there. So it's done. I've rounded that edge off, and that I've made that corner up, made that piece and welded that in, and just got to cut a square hole in there somehow. Not sure yet, I'll be working that out in a minute, and then yeah, so I'm going to go along and etch prime it and then let it dry. I'll show you when it's all finished. So it's done, patching here a little bit and along there, had to patch a little bit in here as well, and that down here, this section here all the way down, and that to this end here is the new piece. I've put the scallop a little bit in there. I haven't put the hole in it because I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to do that, so I've left that for now. The owner can clean that up, and that, because I don't have a way on getting those welds in there done. I've also reshaped this corner here, and that to resemble very similar to what that one is, and that, so it was a nightmare, but I've got an idea on how I can do it now. Just hopefully the owner is happy with it. Had a little bit of a dilemma here on the shaping of this part, so it's a little off, but he might be able to straighten that out a little bit more, and yeah, go from there. So yeah. So thanks for everyone for tuning in and watching this video. Like I said, if you are watching on that, thanks. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and share as well. Try and help us get over to the 1,000 mark, because I haven't been able to make any videos. Everything's gone dormant, and that, I'm still getting views but not very many subscribers. But anyway, thanks for tuning in. Till next time, stay safe and cheerio.